Welcome to Dirty Shirt Workshop. Gonna have a series out of this project. This is the bake oven from my dad's old motor shop. So what he did with this, after you rewind a motor, you have to dip the windings in a special varnish to keep them from destroying themselves when the motor runs, basically. Then you stick it in this great big oven and you bake it for a while to cure the varnish. So this is roughly, what did I figure, 60 cubic feet. You could bake a lot of cookies in here, or a lot of cake. You could roast a long pig if you're into that, if you're kind of weird. I'm gonna use it for two things. One, I will use it for baking, but not food, but carrying out parts that I painted. And then the other thing that I'm looking to do is I think this will give me a good way to add powder coat capability here in the shop. So this has an active draft on it. Let me get over here. So there's a circulator fan here and a draft control. So you can just heat the oven, but then you can also circulate the flue gas in it while you're heating it. You can pull vapors off, get them burned. This is how I understand it. I might be wrong. But this motor will suck air through the oven. So if you have paint, it'll blow the paint out, the paint fumes out the stack. Don't have them in the shop. And then for powder coat, I can run this while I'm spraying my powder, and it'll pull the powder into the oven instead of letting it go all over the shop. I don't know if I'll be able to get away without using a respirator or not, but I always got my Weldon helmet, which I love. So that's kind of where I'm going with this. There's a couple things I have to do. The top has some holes in it from water that sat on here. This has been outside for 15 years about. So it has some rust holes in there, so the insulation is wet. And I don't know how good the condition is. The top here, this is all riveted, so I'm not going to take that apart and get into that. I'm just going to put new insulation on top and make another cap that'll go on top of this, so it'll be a little bit higher to protect that insulation. The bottom has the same problem. I've actually already taken care of that. You'll see that here in a minute. I did it while it was still laying on its back on the truck because it was the perfect height for working on the bottom. And I can't imagine trying to get the bottom out of there with it like this. No way. So that got done and that's taken care of already. So the first thing I want to take care of with this is working over the bottom here. So there's some rust holes here. I don't know if there's any insulation under this or not. I think it's just an air void. Maybe not, but I think it is. And you can see here, it looks like forklift came in from that side and smashed this up. So it's not really going to insulate well. So I'm going to try to take this base off. It looks like I can take off the base and all these screws around here and this panel will come off. Now I'll at least be able to straighten it out and see what I can do with that. Thought I'd get in here and give you a close-up in case you haven't seen an impact screwdriver before. These things are great. You can, when you hit them with the hammer, it does two things. It's pushing the bit into the screw, which this one, when I tried to use the drill on it, it stripped it out a little bit. Because it's all this old stove bolt stuff. It's grade 2 metal. It ain't very good. But then this will push in, so you get a good bite into the fastener. If there's a lot of corrosion in it, it helps with that too. And there's a cam mechanism inside here, so it will actually turn the bit when you hit it. There. Now the plier is locked in against the back there. So now when you hit it, it's actually going to start loosening it, or it'll break the bolt. I don't care which one. So I got this over on the bench. I've got one side opened up so I can get into here. So what they did, this flange here is the bottom piece, and this was folded all the way down. And you can see this other piece of steel here, that's the top piece. So you have to unroll the flange 2 times. Basically, like this front side will have to be, this will fold down, and then there's a second flap in there that they rolled over to pinch and hold the top piece in. I really like how this is done. There's no sharp edges anywhere basically on the outside when it's done. So I get this open so I can flatten it out, and I'll probably have to put new insulation in most likely and get my particle mask on when I do that, because it looks like it's all fiberglass. Wasn't too bad. We loaded it with the tractor and just lifted that front bracket with the bucket, but I didn't want to do that in here with the backhoe and diesel exhaust in the shop, because I want to work in here some more today. The other thing I got to do is this is a natural gas oven. I run propane here. So there's a, oh here, let me give you a closer look here. Okay, so there's a thermostatic regulator here. So has this lead that goes in, that's a thermostatic, I don't know exactly how it works. I assume it's a pressure-based lead, like this is a tube with some kind of liquid in it. And then this dial actually has temperatures written on it. They're hard to see, but there's like 400 right there, if you can see it. I don't know if the camera can pick that up or not. All right, but this is for natural gas. Propane runs at higher pressure, so if I use this, I'm probably gonna have too much flame. I'll probably try it just to see, but I don't think it's gonna work. The other thing I have to do is I'll have to change the orifice for the gas. So you'll have a, it's probably not here. It might be, but I don't think it is. It's probably gonna be right up in here. There's an orifice for the gas. It's a particular size. You can cross-reference natural gas to propane and change the orifice size to get what you need. So I'll take care of that. But I definitely cannot find I can't find a book or anything on this. So this was made by Fanway, here you go, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, model NG for natural gas 40. So if anybody's got one of these or has a book on it and knows something about it, I would love to hear something about it. I need to pull off the blower motor. I'm gonna service it, make sure it's in good shape. I'm gonna replace the cord. It looks like it's in pretty tough shape. There's this draft control here. So in one way, all it does is heat. And the other way, my understanding is that's where it's gonna pull flow. Basically, it's gonna pull the fresh air from the oven for the burner. I'm not exactly sure on that again. So I'll have to ask my dad about it again. Got thermometer here. And then inside, there's not much to do. I've cleaned it all up. I straightened out my bottom grates. They were all bashed up, so that's straightened up. There's the rods Dad would hang his electric motors in when he was baking them out. Here's the thermostatic lead. You probably can't see that. Let me get some light. There you go. So that's the lead for the gas controller. So I don't know if I have much luck with that. And there's where the thermometer picks up. That's not where it picks up, is it? Yeah, it's gotta be. Let me check. Yep. That's the thermometer port right there. So that's pretty much it. I got more work to do, so I'll get going on it. Oh, interesting. Another nameplate up here. Complete Reading Electric Company Incorporated. I'll look them up and see if they have anything about this fan, or this oven.